Hey folks, Randy Go, TroutMagnetMan with you here today. Today folks, got a little short video about buying JDM gear. A couple of people have asked me, how do you go about this process? I did a video on that years ago, but you know how that goes. You know, people don't search all your videos, and you know, depending on how many videos you got as a creator, that can be a pretty daunting task to go back and find a video. I don't know how many videos I've done. I think 200, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, going to discuss a little bit, if you want to get into JDM gear, how you go about it, how do you pay, what about shipping, what about customs, what about warranty, what about returns. We're going to talk about all that. The first thing I'm going to talk about, of course, I've written it down here because if I didn't written all the points I wanted to cover, I would mess it up, is shops. I use several different shops. I use Digitaka, I use Platt, I use Fishing Shop Kiwi, I use Asian Portal, I use JDM Tackle Heaven, and I will list some of the shops I use in the description. There's a ton of shops that I don't even really know about, just to tell you the truth. I see people, they bought it from so-and-so shop, and I'm thinking, well, I never heard of that shop. And I've been doing this, 12 years now, and there's a lot of shops I don't even know anything about. There's a lot of gear, especially rods. There's a lot of rod brands, fantastic rods that, are not necessarily mainstream, but I say not mainstream. For instance, Digitaka may not stock them, Platt may not stock them, but you find people buying the Anglo rods, which are extremely expensive, but I would love to have an Anglo trout rod, but that's a lot of coin to come up, and a lot of times you got to get on a wait list to get one of those rods. And there's other light game rods from companies that I've never even really heard of that are supposed to be outstanding rods. But anyway, it's just a huge amount of gear out of there that you can order. I've never heard about it, but that don't mean it's not good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's over there that I've not heard of. I mean, tons of stuff. But anyway, those are some of the shops I use. Most of them, I say most of them, all of them really, you fire them off an email, they get back with you pretty quickly. I've not had any issues with any of them. Not first issue with any of them. Now, several of you have asked about customs, duty, fees. In my 12 years of doing this, I only got hit one time with a custom fee, and it was back about 2014, somewhere in that time frame. I had ordered a two-piece rod that was 8 foot 3 inches long and could not be sent via, at the time, everybody was shipping EMS, the Japanese mail service, express mail service. So it had to go as a special item. Well, what happened is it came by, I think it was FedEx, and FedEx charged me a customs fee, which I can only assume they paid it. But I did my research on that after I got that notice that, hey, that's the way it's done. FedEx paid customs to get it through customs. Now you owe FedEx. But FedEx also charged me a service fee, which I was kind of ticked with. So, after that, I clarified what I was getting was coming EMS, was the right length. Now, I've heard a lot of bass anglers say that you get a one-piece rod, you're going to pay an extra fee for, you're subject to pay customs for. I've never ordered a one-piece rod out of Japan and don't intend to, so I can't answer that question. What I can tell you out of the, I don't know how many items I've ordered. I've ordered a bunch out of Japan. I've never been hit with a customs fee except at one time, and that's because it got turned over to FedEx. Now, I've since got shipments from FedEx. I haven't been charged any handling fee, haven't been charged any custom fee. So I wouldn't worry about the fees. It's my understanding, like in reels, I had 2 reels shipped one time. Was I think the total cost of the reels was $700 or something like that. I never got to charge for any customs, so I don't think that's an issue. I've ordered, like $200 worth of jig heads, $300 worth of jig heads, spoons, cranks, all at the same time. And I've never been hit with customs. To me, it's just not an issue. It's just not an issue at all. Now, shipping. Just recently, of course, during the pandemic, EMS was shut down. And when everything got opened back up in Japan, it first started, it was just DHL and FedEx. And I'm still getting stuff FedEx. I don't think I've gotten anything EMS in a while. And DHL, and I've had no issues with that shipping at all, not a bit. I mean, usually, when you're ordering out of Japan, folks, they don't, you know, it's not like ordering on a website here in the States. They may take a day or two sometimes to send you the link to pay for it. Digitaka now has stopped that. They stopped that several years ago. When you click buy on Digitaka, you pay for it right then. But for instance, Fishing Shop Kiwi, they will wait a day or two after you've placed an order with them to send you another email that you will pay from. And, you know, they will get the shipment out. Now, sometimes it takes, I've experienced with Fishing Shop Kiwi, sometimes you may wait a week or 10 days before they get the item mailed out. But it's, I mean, you know, I would prefer it be sent as, you know, that next day, but unfortunately that don't always happen. Now, Digitaka, on the other hand, is pretty good about shipping, except for rods. And they'll tell you up there when you order a rod that it ships in 1 week. And sometimes they'll ship it before that 1 week. I don't know why they do that, but there's other places that ship it out right away. JDM Tackle Heaven, I mean, it's bing, bang, boom, and it's on the way. Now, here's the good thing about it. When it ships via DHL or FedEx or UPS, in all likelihood, when you get a shipping email, after I get a shipping email, I've had 36 hours at my front door. That's pretty darn impressive. Now, I'm telling you. But, you know, most of the time, it's 3 or 4 or 5 days without fail. I mean, you know, you're just not going to wait that long. I've had really no issues with shipping. I've had no issues with anything being damaged. Some have. I've talked to a couple of people that had something damaged coming through EMS. And of course, that's, you deal with the insurance claim through the United States Post Office if it's damaged in. That has turned out to be, from several people I've talked to, has turned out to be a freaking nightmare. Now, what I do, and I've only had to refuse one package. It was a rod, and I refused it. It looked like the rod was going to be broke, so I refused the package. I got my money back. I didn't, you know, and I ordered the rod again. This time it came better packed. But I've never had any issues other than that. Most of these shops will send these rods out in a extremely heavy-duty cardboard type tube. Many of them use a huge, I say huge, it's pretty big PVC pipe. It's thick, it's sturdy. I'm talking about, you could run I think you could run a car over it and not break the stuff. But I've had no issues with breakage except that one time. But others have, but I have not. And I've ordered a lot of gear. But, you know, I know that can happen. That just depends on how they packaged it, which most of them, they go overboard on packaging. I mean, you get something out of Japan, I don't care if it's jig heads. They pack them things like it was China or something. I mean, they really take all this stuff serious, much more serious than what folks here do when they're shipping something. I can tell you that. But I've had no issues with that. Now, let me tell you about shipping costs. Shipping costs are high, especially now. And people like to combine stuff on a shipment. Well, here's the thing. If you order a rod, don't expect to combine anything with shipping for that rod. I don't care if it's even jig heads or whatever, they will not do it. Digitaka, as a matter of fact, if you order a rod, and let's say you try to put 3 or 4 crankbaits in there that will clearly fit in that tube, their programming is set up, it will refuse the order. And it will come up and it'll tell you, hey, we cannot ship anything with rods. So you either take that item out of the cart or you can't get it. It's that simple. Now, if you're ordering reels, you can have stuff shipped with reels. I've done that before. And of course, you want to save on shipping where you can. And if you're getting larger items, now here's the thing. I ordered some Miho, I think that's the name of it, Miho tackle boxes. I just made a video about that a couple of weeks ago. I've already forgot the name. But anyway, what happens is it's that those boxes, I ordered a bunch of them. They're coming in a bigger box. So while it's not heavy at all, but the dimensions has gone way up. That can get pretty expensive. Now, the reason I did that, because you can order from Miho out of California. Is it Miho? I have to look that up. Somebody will correct me. But anyway, you can order out of California from their site, but here was the thing. They only had about 50% of the boxes that I had found on the Japanese website. And so I wanted what I wanted, so I paid the extra shipping costs. And that's kind of foolish maybe, but that's what I wanted, so I'm gonna have to pay the shipping. The boxes were cheap, comparatively speaking. Shipping was pretty darn expensive. Let's see, what else do I need to cover? Of course, I always pay with PayPal. There's other pay services, I guess. I've never, you know, I know Venmo's popular now. When I started this, it was PayPal or credit card, that was it. I've always used PayPal because in case I have an issue, I've never lost any money. Everything, you know, I've had them go to ship something and they something wasn't there and they just refund my money. I've never had any issues with these. These are all legitimate shops. These are stand-up people, above board business people. It's, you know, they want to be known for doing good business, and they do. I mean, I've never had any issues with any of them at all. You know, like I said, when you go down this road, it's when you're first starting, it's a very daunting task. You don't know what to do. And when I started this, I didn't have anybody to help me. I just started ordering stuff. I got lucky. I got very lucky. I did a lot of research. So the rods I got were, you know, quality stuff because I paid quality money. But I didn't know what I was ordering. I didn't know what an aging rod was like. I didn't know that an aging rod was, most of them are stiff as brooms. You know, I didn't know what a Beirut rod was, but I ordered one. I didn't know what an area trout rod was, but I ordered one. The reels, I mean, you can figure that out. But, you know, when I started, I was ordering these rods, you know, and I remember the first aging rod I got, and I took it out of the tube, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm saying, this is supposed to be an ultralight. I said, what have I done here? What have I gotten into? Well, once you start fishing them, you realize just how great this gear is. But just wanted to go over a few of those things. I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed. You know, if there's any question about a package you get, just refuse it. You refuse it, you'll get your money back from PayPal. You know, you're going to have a good reason to refuse it, I think, you know, such as you see some damage on the box. If I see any damage anywhere, I won't accept it. But like I said, that's only happened one time. Out of all the orders I've gotten from over there, they pack stuff up good. It just don't get damaged. It just don't. Warranty. I didn't discuss warranty. Okay, the rods do have a warranty, but here's the issue. You got to get it back to Japan. So now you're paying out of your pocket to ship it back, and then you're going to have to pay to have it shipped back to you. So it's really not, you know, it's really not prudent to try to get a rod warranty claim. What's the best thing to do is, unlike here in the States, although some rod companies here in the States have started selling just the upper portion of a two-piece rod, just order it, because 99% of the time, if you break a rod, it's going to be the top section. Just order the top section. Yeah, it's a considerable amount of money, but I mean, you know, it's cheaper than buying the whole rod new. But yes, there is a warranty, but it's going to be convoluted for you to get in a claim on it. Same with reels. Now, I've never gotten a bad reel. I've been very lucky, I guess, fortunate. Of course, the reels I'm buying, you know, of course, they're coming out of the Japanese market. You know, I don't think you're going to get too many reels out of the Japanese market that's got quality control issues, because that can be a problem over there. They're all about quality. I mean, they're big on quality control. But reels have a warranty, and you can send them back. Now, I have never done it, but one gentleman, oh gosh, it's been 2 or 3 years back, or couple of years back, told me that he had contacted Abu Garcia in the States about a rod. The top section broke, And somehow they contacted Abu Garcia in Japan, and this guy got a brand new rod sent to him at no charge. And I should have saved all that information, and I didn't do it. You know, but, you know, once again, it's just not, if you get a reel and it breaks, yeah, there's a warranty on it, but you got to get it back to Japan. Now, you know, of course, if you bought a Stella or an Exist and you paid $600 for that reel, it ain't gonna bother you to send it back for 35 bucks and then pay 35 bucks to get it to come back again. I mean, that's, you know, that's the deal. And here's another thing. Let me tell you about these JDM reels. Shimano and Daiwa have service centers in the US. They're good service centers. I used them for years before I ever started buying JDM gear. I would send reels off, and more often than not, they would send me back a new reel like Shimano would. You know, they just, a brand new reel in the box from the model I'd sent in to be serviced. But they will not service a reel that comes out of Japan. It can be the same reel they sell here in the States, such as the Shimano Sahara, the Stella. It don't matter. It don't matter what you paid for it. If it come out of Japan, and they know if it come out of Japan, they're not going to service it. They won't do it. Now, why? I don't know, but I tried as recently as last year to get Daiwa to service my reels. Nope. I mean, they're very polite about it, but they just make it very clear they're not going to service them. Of course, if you buy a Stella and it exists here in the States, they service them forever. But they won't, and they know that the reel come out of Japan. You know, you send them a Shimano Stratix, Shimano Sahara, they know that reel was made for the Japanese market, so, and they'll send it right back to you at your cost. That's the problem with that. So don't expect to get your reels, your Japanese market reels serviced in the USA from Shimano and Daiwa. They won't do it. But there's plenty of reel guys out there. Even, you know, I was one of the first to buy in the States a mag sealed reel, and was worried about getting it serviced. Well, there's a lot of people now that service mag seal reels, even here in the States. And even if the person is not familiar with the mag seal oils and don't have the mag seal oils, you can replace them. You can use regular oil, and of course it won't be a mag sealed reel anymore, but it worked fine. I've been down that road too. Had a guy in Nashville, it's an older reel, just had him, you know, put the regular reel oil in there that they use. Worked just fine. Of course, you lose that mag seal, but anyway, I'm regressing here. But anyway, I'm trying to think of some other things I can tell you about purchasing out of Japan. You know, I like to tell people, I used to tell people all the time when I was doing reviews of something, you don't need this gear to catch fish. But what happens when you start fishing this gear, you just realize how good it is, how great it feels to fish Japanese rods, to how great it is to fish Japanese reels. I mean, they're just better quality stuff. There's no doubt about it. And you know, and of course, I'm buying jig heads that have hypodermic needle sharpness to them. I'm purchasing lures that are unlike any lures I can get here in the States, really. My trout cranks and especially my trout spoons. You know, because I mean, in the States, you're not gonna be able to find any 1 gram spoons. Nobody sells a 1 gram spoon in the States. It just that's you know, that hardly ever happens. But in Japan, they got thousands of them. So anyway, folks, just wanted to get this video up about buying gear out of Japan. Don't be afraid to do it. You know, it's not a hard process at all. Use PayPal so you don't get taken to the cleaners. And I know people have used credit cards, but I still prefer PayPal. And I think you're going to have a good experience. I think you're going to enjoy your gear. You need to know what gear you're buying too. If you don't, you know, if this is your first time doing this, or your second or third time, and you're not quite sure about something, fire off an email to me. I'll be more than happy to answer your question if I can about buying gear. I mean, I haven't bought everything out of Japan. That's a fact. I mean, I don't buy gear as much as some YouTubers. I don't know where they get the money to do it, but boy, there's several YouTubers that's getting the Stellas, Exist, rods, I'm talking about they get stuff every day, and I don't, that's a lot of money. That takes a lot of money. But anyway, just wanted to get this out there, and hope it's nice weather where you're at. It's going to be nice weather for the next 10 days here. We had another round of storms. I survived them. Nothing happened here. Going to get, of course I say that all the time, going to go fishing, but actually folks, I went fishing yesterday. Didn't take the video camera. I was only there, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Fished the Searcy City Park Lake, which is only 2 acres, maybe. And went over there thinking I was going to catch a bunch of bluegill, because I was told it's full of 5 to 7 inch bluegill, that they keep it stocked pretty regular over there. And it never occurred to me, I should have known that. I did know it, but I'd forgotten it, I guess, that they winter stock that place with trout. And I wasn't getting any bluegill taps at all, but the water was cold. I mean, it's water's still pretty cold here. So all of a sudden, I've got the Tenru Lunikia 6'3" light, medium light, testing out it, and also testing out the new Varivas double cross ×8 PE line, which is a fantastic line, by the way. I absolutely love stuff. And you know, about the 4th or 5th cast, 16-inch trout hit that Daiwa jig head with a sidebug colored trout magnet. About ripped the rod right out of my hand. So, and I caught 2 more of them. Then I left. The wind was howling. I mean, the wind was absolutely howling. I'd gone over there just to kind of check the lake out. It's not 4 minutes from my house, and I didn't really even know about it, really. So that's a good place I can go and test out gear and you know, test out rods, reels. So I was glad to find that. But anyway, I'm going back over there this week. All the trout won't be caught out. It's Saturday when I'm doing this video, and I'll probably get this video up today. It takes a long time for me to upload a video with my internet connection. I got great download speeds, but my upload speed here is horrendous. But don't want to go over there today or Sunday, because people over there trying to catch the trout out, I'm sure, to eat them. And I'm happy for them to do that, but it's going to be too many people for me to be around there. So I'm going to go, you know, Tuesday or Wednesday or something. Won't hardly be anybody there. I'm hoping, anyway. That's my plan. So anyway, folks, hope all of you are well. Hope you're safe. Hope you're out fishing. Hope you're catching a bunch of fish. So until next time, sore lip 'em all, and life is good.